or dining or taking away or something. Yeah. So people are still getting uh, attention to it. And then uh, Dr. Chang Shukwan from the Center for Health Protection said the new infection figures are dropping, yes, but only slowly. So there are still chances for continuous spread out, and it is essential for people to keep social distancing measures. And here we are in this district. You can see that this is in Sham Shui Po district, which is also my living district, and people are still uh, living the life as usual. Like for example, they will go out, and some of those stores or restaurants are still keeping open. And then the new cases yesterday is including two staff members at elderly home. Hi, Snoo. I would say Hong Kongers are still okay in this moment because they just live the life as usual. You can see that people are going out, but they are wearing masks and they are bringing sanitizers to keep themselves clean. So, and then why I'm having live stream here because this building called Hong Yu Mansion is one of the uh, buildings that uh, the cases have spread out quite, the virus has spread out quite serious because in this building there are already accumulatively around about 10 to 20 cases already. Hello, unlucky shooter. I think uh, China is yes, it's called Wuhan virus actually because the virus come from Wuhan. So, but we cannot stop the virus actually uh, by ourselves, by only ourselves. So we still need all people to keep clean and keep sanitized to prevent the virus getting and prevent from us getting infected. And then because what I've just mentioned and filming about the Hongyu Mansion is uh, the residents. The cases is comes from starting from 24th of July, and then this is the first case in that mansion already. And then the cases are from the Block A, which I'm filming just now. And then other non-infected residents have already urged the Center for Health Protection, which is called CHP. And then, yeah, take high though. Yeah, we need to drink more water actually. Although it is very sad, it seems like it's a very common knowledge, but uh, we need to keep doing it. And then about the cases in that building is people are what I've just said is the residents there are urging the CHP, which is the Center of Health Protection, to sending staffs for providing some sample bottles on the day on first case confirmed because the residents are quite worried actually, and people. Thank you, unlucky shooter, and take care too. Because yeah, it's quite dangerous. In these circumstances, the cases are still increasing. There's no still remains un, unrelieved the situation of COVID here. And then about the Hongyu Mansion, which I am filming, is the residents there are quite worried about this. So they are urging the government to provide some. Hi, Clara, you're welcome, and take care too. Remember to wear a mask. And yes, we can see actually people still need to wear masks here. And then because the latest policy in the by government is if you don't wear mask, you get caught, you need to pay the fee for 2,000 Hong Kong dollars, which is uh, around nine to no around 200 or I'm I forget the currency from US dollar to Hong Kong around uh, 300 something. I think approximately. And then about the building I'm filming is uh, the residents are quite unsatisfied about the reactions from the government because they wait for 2 weeks already, and until this Friday, the government, which means the CHP, the Center of Health Protection, they are they finally send the staff and providing bottles uh, for the deep saliva test, which is the saliva is essential for detecting whether the coronavirus reaction is positive or negative. And then, okay, let me answer some questions from Clara. Yes. Actually, last time, about 2 weeks ago, some journalists, uh, because that day I also went to to the um, to the Yunlong station for the commemorate the tribes attack commemorate with Clara. And then at that night, some of the journalists are being charged because of this, because the police think that these journalists are fake, and then they are using this name to kind of protest. And mostly, actually, these kind of journalists, they are responsible for their schools, magazines, for covering the news, which is the editorial board, and mostly they are university students. So it is quite, I would say it's a pity because they are being charged for this. And then in my opinion, I think the police are kind of discriminating some of our young generations like us when we're going out for covering news. This might be a risk because the police think us we are the one who uh, screw up or uh, making Hong Kong into chaos. So yes, that's some details about it. Thank you, Clara, for your question. And then about the COVID-19 cases, the CHP, what I've just mentioned is the CHP finally distributed some sample bottles on Friday, and then after 2 weeks of waiting to collect the saliva samples on next day, which is yesterday, and the residents complained the reaction by government is way too slow because they're already accumulating around 10 to 20 cases. Actually, it is quite dangerous for them because they're living in that building. Uh, so this is why they complain the government is reacting too slow. And then uh, there's one district councillor who are in charge of the COVID-19 situation of that building, and he's called Leo Lee. And then he said that the flat in Hongyu Mansion, that the confirmed cases or the confirmed infect, the people who are infected, uh, the flats that they are living are facing towards the same direction, so there might be a chance of infection of virus through the pipes, because the design of the building, the pipe is concentrated in in the center, which means the building are surrounding the pipes, and the pipes are in the center. So it is kind of the pipes designing is concentrated only in one place, but not evenly distributed. So uh, this might be a reason of pollution in infection and spread out uh, in a fast way of the building. And then the 6P imply that the cases in this building, it is there will be a possibility of environmental infection, which is causing the pipes. It cannot be ruled out this possibility. Uh, which means the true reason of source of infection or the reason causing the spread out still remains uncertain. Yeah. And on the other hand, for today, the COVID-19 update, there's one, actually it's yesterday, because unfortunately there's one new case in my living apartment. So I'm a bit worried, but uh, in my opinion, if we do ourselves better, which means we keep washing hands after getting back home, we keep wearing masks, and uh, we keep doing ourselves uh, to make ourselves clean. That's that's like I have to do as much as I could. So yeah. So that if touch wood, I still get infected. That's inevitable because yes. Okay. Hello. Okay, not. Yes, actually, I've got one N95 mask. Uh, I won't say these kind of masks is not that useful, but yes, actually N95 masks are way better than this surgical mask. So thank you for your comment and thank you for watching live stream now. And uh, back to my building. Actually, around 10 p.m. yesterday, it is a female resident aged 33 years old, and then she was sent to hospital immediately yesterday. And then and I'm at home, and then I received the news in the chat group in WhatsApp of the neighborhood in my living apartment, and then yes, and fortunately, one thing better is that the female resident is living in another block, and I am living in block two, and then the resident who got infected is living in block one. So that's uh, I would say it's fortunate in these circumstances. Uh, we are not living in the same um, in the same block, because if we're living in the same block, it means that we might uh, have chance on uh, taking the same lift. Yes, this stuff is scary. I think so too. Like people are getting so paid so much attention on it, and my family too, because my family members are like my parents are working from home starting from last week, and then now my apartment appear new cases. So uh, this might affect the working situation of my parents, especially if they could go to work or not. And then this is also my living district and the area nearby my living apartment. And this is one of the public estates in Hong Kong. There are two public estates nearby. And unfortunately, actually, my district already, it was already a little social community spread out in my district, I would say around this area, because there are already total around 4 to 5 cases in respectively in total in these two public estates, and also Plus, there's a new subsidized housing scheme here. This building already confirmed for two cases. So it's quite dangerous for me because I'm living in this area and I will, like for example, I will, like we need to still need to go for buying food and having takeaways, and so it's it's quite dangerous. I would say. And then so actually yesterday, thank you. Yes, I love my city too, and I love uh where I'm living. Actually, I'm living here for already. Let me think about it. Already 7 to 8 years already. Yes, so I'm quite familiar with this. How, hello, Princess Maps. How large are each the houses? Apartments? Actually, I'm thinking about the whole apartment or the flat. Actually, inside the flat it's quite small, and uh, mostly they are around 200 to 300 uh, living area. It's only around. How can I show it in uh, more specific way? Around. Let me see. It's only around from here to around here. Actually, it's quite small, including dining room, including bathroom, because we are ironically saying that most of the Hong Kong citizens, ironically saying that the people here living in the flats or living in the apartments, they are living in some nano flats because the flats are way too small. But these kind of flats could only, but mostly the Hong Kong people here uh, uh, mainly live with families, like 2 to 3 people a flat. So it is quite narrow for them. Hi, Robert. Cowboy. It's not only warm, it's quite hot today. Yes, like mostly because Hong Kong, yes, it's one of the cities in the tropical regions. I remember. So it's mostly in summer. The temperature remains from um, around 30 to 32 degrees Celsius. Yes. Hi, Centrino Vista. Yeah, thank you. The national security law is, uh, although the government imposed this law and they executed, but actually yesterday in another district, people are still going out for uh, commemorate for uh, passed away protester, which is young boy. And because when the fact is that when he's escaping, he fall from the I remember it's the second floor of the car park. So he got and he got injured, and then uh, he didn't withstand for a while, and then he just got passed away. So, and many Hong Kong citizens think that it is the reason why the young boy or the young protester died is because the police attacked him violently and didn't give him a chance. So, yes, that's uh, quite dangerous. But uh, I would say it is inevitable to stop this. And yeah, we still need to keep ourselves on what we're doing. And yeah, only we can do is stay aware about how government is doing and reacting to different kinds of issues in different aspects. Hi, the Victor first. Actually, my parents are are suggesting me to leave Hong Kong, and then thank you, Vista, and then um, I love this place, but and then another reason for me that I'm having doubt on emigrating is because I don't know whether I could uh, adapt to the new environment. Uh, because my parents are suggesting me to going to UK after I having a master degree there because I'm still a third year in the university. So after I graduate, I might trying to achieve on a master degree. But still, this I'm still thinking about it. Yes, because this place is where I live. I'm familiar with this. Yeah. Okay, Claire asking. Yes. His death is still remain unknown because the police doesn't want to check out this or doesn't want to investigate about this incident. So they just leave it alone and then ignore it. And then they keep on doing what they want, actually. So let me scroll up for some questions. Hi, not this again. This is time zone. I remember it's called GMT plus 8, which is the same time zone where Beijing and Taiwan. If I haven't remembered wrong. Yeah. So, um, and then for after talking about some local community things here, because yes, I'm yeah quite familiar with this. I remember someone telling me, oh, not MT30. Oh, yes. I wouldn't say I'm getting bored of it, but I just get used to it, and I have a sense of belonging here. Yeah. Hi, Andrea. Hello. Here is noon time, around 12:23 here in Hong Kong. It's quite hot today. Yes. What motivate you to do my blogs? Hi, Dita 323. I think the major reason for me to do broadcast uh, and to be a journalist is because I think, uh, especially in this time, it is very hard for journalists to reveal the truth. Actually, I would say this responsibility or this principle is what I'm always believing in is people need to get to know about what is really happening because in my own self opinion is um, I wouldn't say government uh, give out the news is not real, but they might have include some uh, propaganda in it, which means these kind of news are intentionally supporting them. So yes. Uh, so what makes me motivated in doing broadcasts is I think people here in Hong Kong actually saying that being a journalist is not not the salary is not high actually here, and then uh, but I would say I won't uh, emphasize on what like how many money I can earn after I graduate, but like I want to uh, treasure the chance of here to say something true, because all of you know about the national security law. And I don't know after how many years I could still doing broadcasts like this. So I think I want to yeah do do more about the broadcast. Yes, and get more people to get around with local news here in Hong Kong. Yes, just like yeah what Carol said. Hi, Katie Bravo from Texas. Uh, yes, here is my living area, the landscape, and mostly because Hong Kong is famous for buildings, and buildings. So we can see all these kind of buildings around, and then this kind of public estate, and mostly they are living apartments. And because Hong Kong is too small, So the urban planning should and could only plan and build the apartment like this. I read it was. I'm guess I concerned about my personal safety, but uh, for my own opinion, uh, that's we couldn't leave. We couldn't stay at home for too long. Actually, we couldn't stay at least um, like around a whole week that we didn't go out and always taking food delivery. We still need to meet people. We still need to buy food. We still need to buy daily necessities. So um, yes. So what we could only do is remain keeping clean. Let me see some seconds. Uh, the people are actually here. Like you can see in the bus, and then people are still getting out. Like, but of course, it's getting less because of this. Uh, yeah, no traffic. Regarding free pass restrictions, I would say actually being journalist needs to take risks, in my opinion. So uh, yes, it's it's hard to not preventing or I would say it's inevitable for journalists to getting in risks. So yes, but for the personal safety, I think uh, I wouldn't go to mainland or trying to use some software from China uh, to prevent myself from my private information. For example, my address, my phone, um, to getting reviewed by China and they could track me. So that's the only thing I can do. Okay, let me see some from Andrea. I'm living in a high rise apartment. Actually in Hong Kong most of the people are living in high rise apartment, so called high rise, but uh yes, I don't know whether these kind of apartments or public housing estates are called high rise, but because Hong Kong is too small and there's not enough land, so the planning is need to be like this. Is uh, the building needs to build so high. How much people are not there? Actually, for example, under in weekend like holidays, there mostly are many people around tens walking around the street because there's I approximately around uh, thousands of people living here in this district. So yes, okay, from top to bottom. Okay, and then I could pan from left to right. Actually, I hope this is what you want to see, Katie Bravo. Um, Let me answer some questions from Clara. As a journalist, are you worried about? Yes, I'm worried about the national security law because I don't know. Uh, do I have chance to say something true again under this case? Because, like for example, if you are saying some comments which is opposite to the Chinese government, so you might get caught or you might get in jail because okay, if you're saying some uh, thing not with me or not on my side, then uh, you are like opposing me and you want to throw screw the things up. So I'm a bit worried, but I would say I could just only keep doing and take the chance on what I can do right now. Yeah. Hi, sign up. How have protests been going to? Actually, the activity is getting not so proactive from starting from last month because the national security law imposed and executed. So, and mostly, if people wanted to go out to voice out for example, commemorating, mostly the activities are commemorating, and there are only around tens of people. Not like last year, there are uh, millions of people going out. So it is a very big difference, actually, the uh, after the national security uh, executed. Um, okay, let me answer a question from KT Bravo. Where poor people live or which? Actually, the grassroots levels, I mean, Japan, are living here, or middle class, and because this is the subsidized housing, and then panning from here, and this building is which I filmed just now is two of those are also both of them are public housing estate, which means the some poor people living here, mostly they're elderly, and my living apartment is also most middle class living in because mine is a private apartment. Let me scroll up for check if there's some uh, other new questions. Yes, I have to walk around in heat anyway, yeah, but it's okay because I'm getting as many Hong Kong people are getting used to the weather here. Hi, UCCFT. He can answer it. I'll say I will say it's a pointer because I can get approach to him, but uh uh from my own view, I think he should also listen to those questions, but uh to the extent that the questions are constructive. How large is my part? Let me think about it. Around I approximately I don't remember the exact number or the exact meter square, but around uh, just like what I'm saying. Actually, it's only uh, from here to there, and then a square, or actually, it's even smaller. Yes, and also because I have talked about the situation of the COVID-19 in my apartment because there are one new case. Oh, Omni is another Hong Kong journalist having broadcast, and she just broadcasted and done with the live stream around 1 hour ago. Yeah. How many bedrooms and bathrooms? Only one bathroom, and then two bedrooms. One is mine. One is my parents. And then yes, talking about my cases. One new case in my apartment. Actually, the reaction is quite fast from management office of my property, of the property, and then the management office just sent some staff to disinfect the whole building, like the lobby, the clubhouse, and the lifts. Yes. Hi, Raphael. Hello. Thanks, unlucky shooter. Yes, I hope things here could go well, but still need to remain hopeful. Yeah. Actually, the district I filmed a minute ago is um, a bit crowded. But like from here, where I'm living in, there's not much traffic here, and not much people here too. Hi, Gilly XO. What's happening? Actually, I'm talking about some COVID-19 updates. How it's going there? It's a bit better for the COVID-19 right now, but we still need to keep an eye on the situation because there's a streak of new cases uh, hasn't stopped yet. Yes, although last week there's 100 plus overall week, which means that totally there are 700 to 800 new cases last week. But starting from yesterday, uh, there's only tens of cases. Like for example, 70 to 80, and yesterday is 70 and 69 accurately. So I wouldn't say it gets so much better, but it's better than nothing. Hi, Lil Paler. Paler, yeah. Is it called the right pronunciation? I'm at my living area. It's called Changsha in Cantonese, and then uh, uh, this is my living area, and this little thingy is my living apartment, and this is also another private apartment here. Yes, Raphael. People are wearing masks actually, like what I'm filming now, and keeping a social distancing measure. From Lee EXO. Okay. Let me answer the question first. First question is actually like for example, my parents actually need to work from home regularly, and in this case, they are being told by their own companies to stay at home and to have to work. And actually, me and my parents uh, have already dined at home for almost a week because the under the pandemic situation is serious. Because normally uh, us like me and parents will go to uh, my grandpa and grandma's home to have dinner together, like a small family gathering. But because they're old and we are worried that they might get infected because we don't know ourselves are having those virus, but we are okay because that we have better body. So we just need to stay at home and having dinner. Yeah, and also gatherings are mostly prohibited and they're not yeah, and we are like normally people are staying home. In this case they're not going out for gathering, or if they need to go out for gathering they're only limited to 2 people under the policy by government. Hi, UCCT, hello. Okay, so let me answer the questions from Clara first. I remember Catherine's previous live stream. Okay, the Yale economic struggle. Actually, I've talked about in the last live stream, around last two live stream. Uh, it is the Yellow economic struggle is about that uh, the stores and restaurants which support protesters. Uh, they they are going to build up an economic circle to collect the earnings and then support the protesters. And then because these kind of uh, stores are protesters friendly, so people are urging in the forum uh, to say, oh, let's say people go to consume goods there because we don't want to pay. Hong Kong citizens don't want to pay money to those stores who are supporting government, or they use their earnings to give up to government to have their plans or to have some construct. So this is some general uh, uh, stuffs about the economic circle, which is called yellow because starting from 2014, the umbrella movement yellow means by protesters friendly and meaning to support fighting for democracy. The meaning you can yeah, if people here like you don't know about uh, the symbol, the source of the yellow, the color symbol, you can go search about umbrella movement, which is happening in 2014. Yeah. Hi, Peter. Hello. Okay, the next question is um, sign up. Okay, what do you think the main factor for people actually following? Um, because people in Hong Kong here, I would say they are afraid uh, to get infected because if they get infected, they could not get work. So, uh, as we all know, Hong Kong is quite serious or quite emphasized on uh, the economy is quite emphasized on people to go to work, and if uh, for to some extent, if people getting infected, uh, their boss, actually the leaders here uh, in Hong Kong, in my opinion, it's quite bossy. And then if they cannot go to work, they might have a higher pressure because, or a bit tense because they need to follow up for so many workloads. So I think this is one of the little reasons because in Hong Kong, people are getting aware, and then if like for example, if you don't wear a mask on the street, like people were super afraid, and then they just uh, leave you for around few meters of distance, and then or to an extreme extent, some people might kind of uh, take you about the photo, and then that oh, this guy doesn't wear a mask. Please go call him like this. So people here are getting very attent like paying so much attention on this part because they are afraid of it, and they're afraid that I need to follow up some work and which might affect their life. People ignoring in US because actually I think in US the living area is it's way bigger and way broader than Hong Kong because Hong Kong is crowded, so the chance of getting infected would be relatively higher rather than US. So I think this is one of the big difference here for people to following practical or not. Thank you, Lee XO. Thank you so much, and you too. Take care too. Okay, from Andrea, are the stores open? Yes, they're open, and under the policy is that the like focusing on restaurants, they are the restaurants only could provide dining service from till 6 p.m. and after 6 p.m. those restaurants are only limited to provide takeaway services and to 5 a.m. So, but mostly like it's an hidden agenda that most stores are going to close except restaurants, or some restaurants would close at around 9:30, and most stores are closing at this time too because uh, there's not much. money they could earn, so that they would rather have a rest earlier. Okay, from Peter, can you show what the scenery? Flip the camera to, okay. I just filmed it before because one of the audience, so I could pan from right to left because one of the audience has told me to do so. And this is one of those subsidized housing here. And then what I've mentioned here is they are both two public housing estates. And then the one far away, which is constructing, is also one. And this one is also the public estate here, which is called Fortune Estate. And this is where my grandpa and grandma live. So uh, because of this, it's quite near. So normally, me and my parents will go have dinner with them. But under this case, we need to keep distance. Yes. Yes, I'm a student. So yes. From Clara, yeah, Hong Kongers were fighting to buy masks. Yes, they are. They are grabbing every chance and buy as much as the mask as they can because uh, they're so afraid of it. But this also shows another problem is that after people like who have they have they have better economic situations, they could buy the mask. But how about the poor people? They couldn't. So uh, to this uh, problem, to facing this problem, like some of the volunteers would buy some face masks and going to give out to some poor people, for example, some maybe beggars or uh, maybe some workers or blue collar workers or cleaners on the streets uh, because they have they have no money to buy the mask and they might need to reuse the mask again. Yes. Yes, from Peter. What percentage of people wearing masks? Actually, it's about, I would say it's around 80 to 90 approximately because at night, because there's not much people, right? So the people won't wear if the street is not crowded. But in most of the time, people are still wearing it because this is the protocol. And if you don't wear it, you will get charged. Yes, for around uh, 300 to 400, yes, 300 to 400 US dollars, or 200 to 300 something. Yes. Okay, let me scroll some questions. Are most people working from home? I would say half half. Actually, offices are open too, but the people uh, mainly wanted to work from home because they are worried about getting infected by the coronavirus and limiting. This policy was exempted on passengers on buses and trains. So, which means people could still go out by taking, like, for example, subways, for example, buses or minibus. Uh, but in under this case, you need to wear a mask. If you don't wear a mask, because these kind of public transport are treated as public areas. So if you don't wear a mask, you will also get charged. Yeah. Um, I'm studying journalism, so that's why I am doing broadcast, and also I'm now current intern journalist in HAPS. Yeah. What about the schools? That okay by Raphael? Actually, the schools they're already postponed of the classes until further notice uh, because the government or the education bureau here uh, my worried about the little kids getting infected, and this also may cause if they still normally open up the classes in schools, it might happen for large socials or community spread out. So in this case, the government choose to shut down for the classes until further notice. And the the classes will be turned to online classes or e-learning. And uh, the specific measures on this, it depends on the teachers and the principals of the schools. Yes. Thank you, Glee EXO. Thank you so much for supporting and watching the live stream. I will do better in the upcoming updates. Okay, thank you. Tetanus is way better than me. Okay, answering Clara's question first. Yes, the comments because there's mass shortage here. Like people are uh, raising up the prices of masks around at the start of the pandemic because people fear about it. So, and also some of the stores are uh, taking this chance to raising up the prices of the mask to earn money. But I think this is not a good way to do it because actually this is a necessary, and people might have get infected if you do this kind of act. So yes. So just like what Clara in the comments said, some of those local people they doesn't want to see this happen. Like poor people doesn't cannot get masks, so they open some local factories and to produce masks themselves, and then giving out to some poor people. Yes, watermelon. Yes, price going. Yeah. What do I think of Winnie the Pooh? Thank you for your question, Eagle Heart. I think, in my opinion, um, I wouldn't blame him uh, about like things he do, but in general, he's not a good leader because like he is not responsible for the things he do. He doesn't admit it, and then he just pretend, okay, this is okay, China is okay, and uh, everything is okay. Thank you so much. I still have a lot of room for improvement in my English. I will still get sometimes not speaking so fluent. Okay, let me scroll up for some comment. Yes, the protesters outside got beaten up and death. Actually, the same uh, situation happened in Hong Kong for around. I remember it's uh, last 2 months because there's a vigil on the June 4th massacre for the commemorate. And oh no, this one is just peaceful protest and police didn't beat people up. And it's about a year ago. The police started to beat people or beating protesters discriminately also. And also last year's August, 31st of August, most of the protesters there are heavy casualties in the subway station because the police blocked the subway station and do not let the voluntary medicals or some first aiders to get inside and help those protesters to get them to hospital. So there's a heavy casualty spread, but the actual number still remains unknown. Hi, thank you, 99. And oh, the Disney Mulan movie. Actually, most of the Hong Kongers here doesn't like this because the actress Liu Yifei is supporting China. So it's not, it's infamous, not popular at all. Yeah. Sure, Glee. Actually, there's new deaths. Around 4 people died. For the latest update here today, in Sunday, around in the morning, about 10:30 to 11 a.m. And I know this also. I also know this according to the local media. And then because most of the death cases are um, mostly elderly with chronic disease, and around age around from 70 to 90. So these kind of elderly people, mostly they're living in some elderly home, which are not living in their living in their own apartment or own flat, because most of them are living himself or herself. Uh, Only one people living alone. So yes, mostly the cases here are like this. Yes, many Hong Kongers are boycotting. Yeah, Clara. People here doesn't like things from China. So as I do too. Yeah. Hi, Apple Thief Homa. Yeah, yeah. Hello. Yes, so that's most of the update here. Oh, it's already, is it half an hour already? I didn't pay attention to the time. But yeah. Let me see if there's any updates now. And yes, talking about my apartment, after the new cases yesterday, uh, the uh, the management office had already sent some staffs to disinfect the whole building and the public facilities, for example, clubhouse, or because we have gym in the clubhouse, so the gym rooms are also keep shutting down. Yes, this is one of those. This is the measures uh, in my apartment after there's new cases in uh, in the block in another block. And like most of the apartments in Hong Kong, if they are meeting or they are facing some similar situations that the building have uh, were found there was some new cases on coronavirus. So they might I get sending people, okay, you need to sanitize the whole building, sanitize the lifts, sanitize the buttons on in the lifts, these kind of details. Um, I didn't have a Reddit account, but I will go register it. Sure, for sure. And talking about Reddit, actually, Hong Kong has a forum called LIHKG, which is also a Hong Kong local forum. Mainly uh, uh, concentrated the users are like us, these young generations from around 20 years old to 30 years old, and it's also very popular. And the function is similar as Reddit, like you can talk everything there, like for example politics, and mostly because the people there are talking about politics and the movement. Here, the social movement are raised up here in the forum. Yeah. So, in around a year ago, yeah, in the past year is quite um, important. We could say a base or and common ground for our protesters to contact. Yes, LIHKT. Yes, 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 yes. You you get it right, Lee. And yeah, Andrea, true. Gyms are closed, like almost public facilities. And okay, I confirm this because across the road, that side is there is a stadium and also a football court and basketball court, and these kind of courts are sports courts are keep shutting down. Yes, yes, a local online forum. But mostly the online forum is talking in Cantonese or in Chinese. So yes, uh, I don't remember if there's English users, but I want to say that actually I didn't use the forum that much, starting from um, last month or last 2 months, because uh, it is normal and people could still say some like deliver or express different kinds of opinions, although you're in the same side, for example, in the Democratic side, and but however, going like starting from last 2 months, um, the people there are like they are quite extreme, and they didn't allow people to saying some opposing um, uh, comments. If you say that, they would kind of, I won't say it's cyberbullying, but they would kind of saying some mean words to you, like for example swearings or other bad words. So I didn't go check the forum for almost 2 months already. Yes, I speak Mandarin and Cantonese. Both of them I speak. But Mandarin, I am not staying that much. Mostly, I'm communicating with my families and friends. Like for example, like mostly are Cantonese and English. Yeah. So thank you for all of you joining my live stream and asking questions, and see if you guys or if all of you have some questions to ask or not. Okay, there's new questions from Clara. Okay. Um, if the whether the platform will shut down or not. Actually, there might have chance, in my own opinion, under the national security law imposed, because like in this online forum, um, um, like mostly uh, people are gathering around with social movements, like most of them are anti-government or anti-China. So under this case, there might be a large chance or a high chance on getting banned or getting shut down for the server of the online forum. Oh, it's okay. You're welcome, Andrea. Yes, I'm on Instagram. Lee. Uh, I could type out my uh, Instagram name here. Yeah, this is my it is similar to my username in apps. Actually, it's the weather is very nice today, but under the pandemic situation, uh, for example, some playgrounds or beach are closed. So it's unfortunate, but uh, keeping ourselves keeping ourselves healthy is more important. So all of you stay safe too, and keep yourself clean, and remember to wash hands and get hydrated. Yes. High skill politics. Sometimes I was worried about this, about like talking openly here, in the public area. But I think I can't worry that much. Uh, I still need to talk about, like, for example, like, if I'm facing police, then police, that's another case then. But here, there's only me alone, one guy, talking about things about, well, for example, politics, COVID-19, about China and Hong Kong. But I won't. This is, I think it's okay for me too. And I also get a bit. Yeah, a bit fear about being watched. But I would say I'll try to talk as much as I can, if I still have chances now. Yeah. Yes, I type my answer, or maybe after the live stream, I could reply you in the comments. Yeah. Thank you, Lee, for supporting. Thank you, all of you audiences supporting me to have live here and asking questions and commenting. Thanks for joining. You're welcome, and stay safe too. Stay healthy. Yeah, John. Hi, Johnny Boy. Yeah, Wuhan virus, right? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Clara. I also linked my Instagram profile on my Habs account too. Thank you so much. You too. You're a nice person too. Always asking questions, and uh, still don't know. Hi, Johnny Boy. China report still remains unknown. But I would say I would describe this like the relationship between U.S. and China is kind of a second Cold War. Feels like you can see they're always blaming each other and always prohibiting some uh, the economic or example industries respectively. Yeah. Yes, and I think it's yeah. Time is almost there. The live stream is almost there. So thank you, all of you joining my live stream to participating and asking me questions on my recent report on the COVID-19 and national security law updates here in Hong Kong. Yes, Andrea, I have an Instagram account. I think it's linked to have, but if not, I will leave my account name here in the comment section below. Yes. And thank you for joining the live stream and stay tuned for the latest updates. I will do 2 times the live a week, mostly on weekdays. But if there's some uh, new updates out there, I think yeah, I would probably go live on Saturday or Sunday morning or afternoon, like time here, and also which is Saturday evening or night in US. Yes. Okay, so let me answer last question. Okay. Skill point. The CCP used the pandemic movement to yes, actually, uh, but unfortunately, it's a bit sad to say that in Hong Kong, most of the Hong Kongers doesn't aware that at first, uh, because I remember it yesterday, uh, the HK government started to uh, promote uh, I remember it's a plan which encouraging all of the people to going to test out the RNA, which means sorry, it's the detection for nucleic acid. And actually, people are not getting aware about if the government could use their nucleic acid to get the DNA and then to trace them or track them what they're doing. So answering the question is that yes, the movement is shift to quiet organizing. As you can see, there's not much updates on protests here. Like mostly there are some hot news or facts about COVID-19, like cases and how's the reaction by government, how's the reaction and the district, how's reaction by people. So yes, this is actually uh, um, a bit sad, but that's inevitable. We need to keep ourselves safe too. And then, like talking about the pandemic movement as the advantage of CCP is uh, actually I remember that China has promoting the health barcode. I don't know if it's translated like this, but in Mandarin they say 健康码. It's kind of a information of people to serve in service is to detect those barcode and then to check the health situation of the people. But in depth, the CCP wanted, yes, just like what you said, is wanted to use those barcodes to trace the people's or the China citizens' information and also where they have gone, where they have been, because like if you go everywhere, actually, like you go different kinds of different places, you need to scan the barcode. So actually, Hong Kongers are quite worried about this. Yes, and fortunately they start getting aware when the chief executive Carrie Lam just proposed this testing plan yesterday. And as the testing plan is not compulsory for every Hong Kong citizens, and then there are some people who take a photo of the form of the testing plan, which there's conditions and agreements, and one of the conditions is that the testing plans is not used for medical purposes. So, which makes people to get aware about okay, suspicious about if this testing plan is really using for testing the positive or negative reaction of coronavirus, or the government wants to get all of those private informations or DNA to given out to CCP and monitor all of the people here. Yes. Hi to live crew. How much testing is going on? Actually, um, for me, if I am like, for example, if I am in uh, like for example, I'm suspected that I suspect myself if I have the virus, I would go to test in this case. But normally, I think people won't go to test unless they are suspicious on they have virus or they have the coronavirus or not. Yes, and mostly uh, uh, some if there's cases in some large buildings or in some companies or in offices, that group or that kind of persons are urged or are compulsory on testing the coronavirus if it is positive or negative. So, but normally the people won't do it. The people won't do it too. So yes, and yes, that's all for today's update about COVID-19 and politics. And thank you all for commenting and asking me questions. And stay tuned for the latest update. And yes, and see you soon. Everybody stay